Hey there, story lovers. Have you ever heard tales of gods throwing lightning bolts from a mountaintop, or maybe stories of heroes so strong they could wrestle mythical beasts with their bare hands? Well, you've come to the right place. This is a journey back in time to ancient Greece, where the stories they told were as epic and as wild as the gods they worshipped. Welcome to the incredible, sometimes crazy, and always fascinating universe of Greek mythology. These myths were their way of explaining everything, from why the seasons change to why human beings can be so, well, human. These tales have been told and retold for thousands of years, and trust me, there's a good reason they've stuck around for so long. Think of it as the original superhero cinematic universe, but with more sandals and togas. We're talking about a cast of characters with big powers and even bigger personalities, from the mighty Zeus, king of all gods, to the clever Odysseus, a hero just trying to get home. Their stories are full of twists and turns. They shaped how an entire civilization saw the world, their gods, and themselves. These myths are more than just old stories. They are the foundation for so much of our own culture, from blockbuster movies to the names of the planets. So, get ready. We're going to unlock the secrets behind these legendary tales. We will meet the gods and goddesses who ruled from their palace on Mount Olympus. We'll follow the quests of courageous heroes as they battle unimaginable creatures. We'll explore the myths that tried to make sense of the world and uncover the lessons they still teach us today. This is Greek mythology, and it's going to be one legendary ride. Let's get started.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
At the top of Mount Olympus, three brothers ruled all. Zeus, king of the sky with his mighty lightning bolt, Poseidon, master of the sea and storms, and Hades, ruler of the underworld. Together, they split the world, each commanding their own powerful domain: sky, sea, and the realm of the dead. Their epic stories shaped Greek mythology, making them the ultimate power trio. The goddesses of Olympus were just as powerful as the gods. Hera, queen of the gods, fiercely protected marriage and her title. Demeter, goddess of harvest, brought life to the earth and showed the strength of a mother's love. Hestia, goddess of the hearth, was the calm heart of every home. Together, they shaped Greek society and were the heart of Olympus. Meet Apollo and Artemis, the divine twins of Mount Olympus, children of Zeus and Leto. Apollo shines as the god of music, prophecy, and the sun, while Artemis rules the wild as goddess of the hunt and moon. Then there's Ares, god of war, fierce and chaotic. Together, they show the Olympians' range, from art and nature to the chaos of battle, gods for every side of life. Meet Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategy, Dionysus, god of wine and wild celebration, Hephaestus, master craftsman of Olympus, and Hermes, the clever messenger. Each brought unique gifts: wisdom, joy, creativity, and connection, shaping both the divine and mortal worlds. Their stories remind us of the power of skill, celebration, and communication. Meet Hercules, the legendary Greek hero. Born a demigod, he faced Hera's wrath and was forced to complete 12 impossible labors, slaying monsters, wrestling lions, and even venturing to the underworld. Through strength, wit, and perseverance, Hercules became the ultimate symbol of heroism, proving that even mortals can achieve greatness against all odds. Perseus, son of Zeus, was sent on an impossible quest to slay Medusa, the deadly Gorgon whose gaze turned people to stone. With help from Athena and Hermes, he received magical gifts: winged sandals, a special bag, an invisible helmet, and a polished shield. Using the shield's reflection, Perseus beheaded Medusa and escaped her furious sisters. He turned the cruel king to stone, proving that courage and cleverness can conquer even the most terrifying monsters. Theseus, Athens' great hero, faced the monstrous Minotaur in the heart of a deadly labyrinth. With Princess Ariadne's help, a sword and a ball of thread, he braved the twisting maze, slew the beast, and led the tributes to freedom. Theseus's tale reminds us that true heroism is not just strength, but cleverness and courage combined. Jason and the Argonauts set sail on the Argo to retrieve the legendary Golden Fleece, facing monsters, impossible tasks, and a sleepless dragon. With the help of the sorceress Medea, they overcame every challenge. Their epic journey is a tale of teamwork, adventure, and the powerful magic of love and betrayal. Not all heroes have happy endings. Achilles, the greatest Greek warrior, was nearly invincible, except for his heel. When his friend Patroclus was killed, Achilles' rage led him to defeat Hector, but even victory brought no peace. In the end, fate caught up with him and he fell to an arrow in his only vulnerable spot. The ancient Greeks told myths to explain the world around them. One of the most beautiful is the story of Demeter and her daughter Persephone. Persephone was taken by Hades to the underworld, and Demeter's grief brought winter to the earth. When Persephone returns, spring and summer bloom again. This myth explained the changing seasons for the Greeks. Beyond explaining nature, the myths also explored the very essence of what it means to be human. They tackled big questions about our relationship with the gods, our flaws, and our greatest strengths. One of the most powerful myths about the human condition is the story of Prometheus. He was a titan, one of the old gods who ruled before the Olympians, but he had a strange and powerful affection for the fragile new creatures on Earth, mankind. In the early days, humans were living in a pretty miserable state. They were cold, helpless, and huddled in caves, living at the mercy of the elements and without any of the tools needed for civilization. Prometheus saw humanity's potential and his heart went out to them. He wanted to give them a gift that would lift them out of their misery, a tool that would allow them to build, create, and thrive. He decided to give them fire. The problem was, Zeus had explicitly forbidden it. The king of the gods wanted to keep humanity weak and dependent, and he knew that giving them fire would make them more powerful, more like the gods themselves. But Prometheus was a rebel. He defied Zeus's command, climbed Mount Olympus, and stole a glowing ember from the sun itself. He hid it in a hollow fennel stalk and brought it down to earth, presenting the gift of fire to a grateful mankind. With fire, everything changed. Humans could now cook their food, forge tools and weapons, and light up the darkness. They could build homes, create communities, and develop art and science. Fire was the spark that ignited human civilization, allowing mankind to grow and prosper. But Zeus was absolutely furious. His authority had been challenged, and his decree had been ignored. He decided to make an example of Prometheus, inflicting upon him one of the most gruesome and eternal punishments in all of Greek mythology. He had the Titan dragged to the Caucasus Mountains and chained to a rock for all eternity. To make the punishment even more agonizing, Zeus sent an eagle to visit Prometheus every single day. The great bird would tear into his flesh and eat his liver. Because Prometheus was immortal, his liver would grow back every night, only for the eagle to return the next day and repeat the horrific torture. Prometheus' story is a profound one. It paints him as a champion of humanity, a figure who suffered immensely for our sake. It explores the themes of rebellion against tyranny, the price of knowledge, and the divine spark within humanity that allows us to innovate and create, even in the face of divine disapproval. Zeus's revenge wasn't limited to just Prometheus. He also decided to punish the humans who had so eagerly accepted the stolen gift of fire. To do this, he devised a particularly cunning plan. He commanded Hephaestus, the master craftsman, to create a new being. Hephaestus molded a woman from earth and water, and all the gods and goddesses gathered to give her gifts. Athena gave her skill in weaving, Aphrodite gave her breathtaking beauty, and Hermes gave her a cunning and deceitful nature. They named her Pandora, which means all gifted. She was, by all accounts, perfect. She was Zeus's beautiful, deceptive, and ultimately destructive gift to mankind. Zeus presented Pandora as a wife to Prometheus's brother, Epimetheus. Prometheus, whose name means forethought, had warned his brother never to accept any gifts from the gods. But Epimetheus, whose name means afterthought, was completely captivated by Pandora's beauty and charm. He forgot his brother's warning and welcomed her with open arms. Along with Pandora, the gods sent a wedding present, a beautifully decorated box, or in some versions, a jar. They gave her one simple but firm instruction: she was never, ever, to open it. It was a test of her obedience, a test that Hermes had already ensured she was destined to fail. For a while, Pandora and Epimetheus lived in a world that was a paradise. There was no sickness, no sadness, no work, and no aging. But Pandora couldn't get the mysterious box out of her mind. What could be inside? Why were the gods so insistent that she never look? Her curiosity, a gift from the gods themselves, gnawed at her day and night. It became an obsession, a relentless whisper in her ear. Finally, she could resist no longer. When Epimetheus was away, she crept over to the box, took a deep breath, and lifted the lid just a tiny crack to peek inside. In that instant, a terrifying swarm of dark, shadowy things burst out of the box and flew out into the world. Out came sickness, envy, greed, pain, sorrow, and death. All the evils and hardships that had been locked away were now unleashed upon humanity, forever ending the golden age of paradise. Horrified, Pandora slammed the lid shut, but it was too late. All the evils were gone. All that remained trapped inside the box was one last, fluttering thing. Hope. The myth of Pandora's box was the Greek explanation for why the world is full of suffering and hardship, placing the blame on the curiosity of the very first woman. But it also teaches that even in a world full of sorrow, hope always remains. The myth of Echo and Narcissus explores unrequited love and self-obsession. Echo, cursed to only repeat others' words, falls for the beautiful Narcissus. He cruelly rejects her, and she fades away, leaving only her voice. The Greeks used this story to explain the echo, her voice repeating in lonely places. The tale of Arachne is a classic Greek myth about hubris, extreme pride. Arachne, a gifted weaver, boasted she was better than Athena, the goddess of wisdom and crafts. Offended, Athena challenged her to a weaving contest. Though Arachne's work was flawless, it mocked the gods. Enraged, Athena transformed her into a spider, destined to weave forever. A warning: never let pride challenge the divine. Greek myths are packed with life lessons, and the biggest one: beware of hubris. Extreme pride. Think you're as good as the gods? That's a fast track to disaster. Take Icarus. His father warned him not to fly too high, but he ignored the advice, soared toward the sun, and fell to his doom. Or Queen Niobe, who bragged she was better than a goddess. Her children paid the price, and she was turned to stone by her grief. The message? Stay humble, respect your limits, and don't let your ego write checks you can't cash. The Greeks believed the gods were always watching, ready to punish arrogance in creative ways. Whether you're a weaver like Arachne or a king like Niobe, pride always leads to a fall. Confidence is good, but humility is essential. These stories still resonate. Don't get too cocky, or you might just get a mythic smackdown. Remember, in the Greek world, humility wasn't just a virtue, it was survival. Hospitality, or xenia, was sacred in ancient Greece. Treat every guest as if they might be a god in disguise. The Trojan War started because Paris, a guest, betrayed his host Menelaus by stealing Helen, an insult to both man and god. On the flip side, Baucis and Philemon welcomed disguised gods with kindness and were rewarded with eternal togetherness. Xenia kept society safe and connected, making hospitality a golden rule. The myths are clear. How you treat strangers defines your character. Good hosts earn divine favor, bad ones risk disaster. In a world full of uncertainty, generosity and respect were the ultimate protections. Ancient or modern, kindness to guests never goes out of style. Greek myths hammer home one point: ignore wise advice at your peril. Orpheus lost Eurydice forever because he couldn't follow a simple rule: don't look back. Oedipus tried to dodge prophecy, but his every move brought it true. Phaethon demanded to drive the sun chariot, ignored his father's warnings, and nearly destroyed the world. These stories aren't just about blind obedience, they're about respecting experience, wisdom, and fate. The Greeks believed some forces are bigger than us, and defying them leads to ruin. Listen to those who know better, whether it's a parent, a prophet, or a god. Disobedience in myth isn't just a mistake, it's a tragedy. The price of ignoring warnings? Catastrophe for you and everyone else. Sometimes the best hero is the one who listens. Greek myths celebrate the power and peril of human bonds. Odysseus's epic journey home is fueled by loyalty to his family, while Penelope's faithfulness is legendary. But betrayal is just as powerful. Medea's love for Jason turns to vengeance when he abandons her, with devastating results. These stories show love and loyalty can inspire heroism or unleash destruction. The Greeks understood that our connections are our greatest strength and our deepest vulnerability. Friendships like Achilles and Patroclus could change the course of wars. Betrayal, on the other hand, could bring down kingdoms. The lesson? Cherish your bonds, but never underestimate their power to shape your fate. In the end, it's the ties we form that make us truly human. Greek myths aren't just ancient history, they're everywhere in modern pop culture. Hollywood loves them, from Clash of the Titans to Disney's Hercules. Superheroes like Superman and Wonder Woman echo the demigods and warriors of old. Books like Percy Jackson bring gods and monsters into the present, making them relatable for new generations. Modern authors retell these tales, giving voice to characters like Circe and Patroclus, exploring timeless themes in fresh ways. The core struggles, power, love, destiny, never get old. These stories keep evolving, proving their relevance again and again. Greek mythology isn't just the past, it's the blueprint for the stories we love today. Have you ever had a eureka moment or heard of an Achilles heel? You've been speaking the language of the Greek gods. Our everyday words and phrases are filled with echoes of ancient myths: Odyssey, Herculean, Midas touch, Trojan horse, Pandora's box. These stories still shape our language, connecting us to the ancient world. Greek mythology isn't just ancient stories, it's everywhere, from the stars above to the brands we use daily. Nike, Amazon, Saturn, and Mercury all borrow names from gods and heroes, linking modern life to ancient legends. Even science draws on myth, with planets, missions, and theories named for ancient figures, keeping their stories alive today. Beyond the movies, the words and the brand names, perhaps the most profound way Greek myths live on is within us. These stories provide a blueprint for understanding our own lives, our own struggles, and our own potential for greatness. The concept of the hero's journey, a pattern identified by scholar Joseph Campbell and present in countless Greek myths, is a powerful metaphor for personal growth. It's the story of someone who leaves their ordinary world, faces a series of trials and tribulations, and returns home transformed with new wisdom or a gift for their community. This is the journey of Odysseus, Hercules, and Perseus, but it can also be the story of our own lives. Think about it. We all face our own versions of the labyrinth or the Hydra. These monsters might not have scales or multiple heads. Instead, they might be personal challenges like overcoming a fear, dealing with a difficult loss, starting a new career, or fighting an illness. The myths teach us that facing these challenges, even when they seem impossible, is what forges our character. The heroes weren't born perfect, they were defined by the obstacles they overcame. Their stories give us a framework for viewing our own hardships, not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth and for discovering the strength we never knew we had. The myths also give us a language for understanding our own complex emotions and internal conflicts. The struggle between reason and chaos, personified by the gods Apollo and Dionysus, is a battle that takes place within all of us. We all have an Achilles heel, a specific vulnerability that can be our undoing if we're not careful. We all have to be wary of the siren songs that try to lure us off our chosen path. These stories act as a mirror, reflecting our own psychological landscapes and assuring us that the struggles we face, with pride, love, grief, and temptation, are timeless and universal parts of the human experience. Ultimately, The reason these myths have survived for thousands of years is because they speak to the very core of what it means to be human. They remind us that life is an epic adventure, filled with both wonder and danger. They encourage us to be the heroes of our own stories, to face our monsters, to seek our own golden fleece, and to find our way home, wiser and stronger than when we left. The gods may no longer be worshipped on mountaintops, but the lessons of their stories continue to guide and inspire us, proving that the secrets of Greek mythology are, in fact, the secrets of ourselves. Our whirlwind tour of Greek mythology ends here, but the adventure is just beginning for you. These ancient tales are the key to understanding art, language, and the stories we love today. They spark our imagination and connect us to a world where heroes and gods still inspire. Thank you for joining me. Now, go start your own epic journey into the myths.